All right, let's talk about the IELTS medical listening test. Does the very thought of it make you a little stressed? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code on this whole section and turn that anxiety into a really solid, confident strategy.
I mean, if your heart starts racing just a little bit looking at this question, you are definitely not alone. The whole idea of trying to understand complicated medical words, all while the clock is ticking, it's a lot. You start thinking, what if I don't know the words? What if I completely miss what they're talking about?
And look, it's totally okay to feel that way. This section, yeah, it's designed to be a bit of a challenge. But here's the secret, the thing they don't tell you. The challenge isn't really about the medicine itself. It's all about predictability. Once you see how the test is actually built, the patterns they pop right out.
Okay, this right here, this is the big mindset shift we're making today. You can forget about trying to become a doctor overnight. That's not the goal. Your real mission is to become an expert at spotting patterns. You see, the test isn't some random medical conversation. It's a carefully structured piece of audio that has all these clues baked right into it.
So you're probably asking, okay, how do we find these patterns? Well, we're going to go straight to the source. We're going to look at the exact instructions, the prompt that's given to the people who write the exam questions. It's kind of like getting a peek behind the curtain.
Seriously, what if you had the architect's blueprint for a building you had to find your way through? That is exactly what we have here. We're about to break down a single sentence that has everything we need to build our strategy. It's the key, and it unlocks this entire section of the test.
There it is, just 15 words. Now, this might look super simple, but I'm telling you, this one sentence is a gold mine. It tells us exactly what to get ready for. It's not vague at all. It's a very specific recipe that we can now take apart, piece by piece.
And that's our game plan. We're going to break this prompt down into its two most basic parts. First, we have the scenarios, the situations you'll be listening to. And second, we have the content, which is the specific type of vocabulary you're going to hear. All right, let's dive into this first part, the scenarios. The prompt mentions a clinic appointment or a medical information session. Now, these aren't just topics. They are the two main real-life situations that the whole listening passage is going to be built around.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Look how this breaks down. On one side, you have the clinic appointment. That's always going to be a two-way conversation, right? A dialogue between a patient and a doctor or a nurse. Their goal is to solve a problem, so you're going to hear a lot of questions and answers. But then on the other side, you have the medical info session. That's a one-way talk, a monologue from some kind of expert. Their goal is just to give general advice, so the language is going to be full of explanations and instructions. Just knowing which one you're listening to is a total game changer.
Okay, so that's the situations. Let's move to the second half of our prompt. Now we know the where and the who, but what about the what? What are they going to be talking about? Well, the prompt gives us two main topics, health and diet plan. This tells us exactly where to focus our vocabulary studies.
And listen, this is not about memorizing a giant medical dictionary, no way. This is about smart, targeted studying. So for health, you'll focus on common symptoms like nausea or fatigue, or maybe words for treatments. For diet plan, you'll want to know words like carbohydrates, protein, measurements like grams, and especially those key advice verbs like you should avoid or we need to increase. This makes your study time so much more effective.
So we've taken the test maker's instructions all apart. We've seen how it works. Now for the best part. Let's put it all back together into a simple, powerful plan. This is your personal blueprint to walk into that test feeling ready.
And here it is, your 4-step game plan. Step 1. The second the audio starts, identify the scenario. Is it a conversation or a lecture? Step 2. Based on that, predict the structure. Are you listening for questions or for main ideas in a talk? Step 3. Start anticipating the vocabulary you're likely to hear. And step 4. Practice with purpose. Now you can actually go find practice tests that fit these exact patterns, instead of just listening to random stuff.
And I want to leave you with this thought. When you prepare this way, you're doing so much more than just studying for a test. You're actually building the real-world skills you'll need to go to a doctor's office or understand health advice in any English-speaking country. So yeah, you're cracking the code for the test, but you're also mastering a skill you'll have for life.